It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge, Total Landscape Solutions.
Friends, Romans, and countrymen, epic deals await you at Toyota of Hollywood. You don't have to battle to get discounts of up to $4,500. Your chariot awaits. A Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our arena where everyone is victorious at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt and Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt and Rayom can help.
Mic checks echo, I'm the sound of the brawl. Canvas creaks, flesh slaps, bodies rise and fall. Steel cage dreams, no escape. All pain, blood stains mixed with the sweat and the chain. Adrenaline surging my veins, spit fire. Crowd chants feeding my soul's desire. Turnbuckles tremble when my wrath collides. Glory's the belt and I'm taking the pride. Boom. The squared circle where legends collide. Boom. No mercy, just a wild ride. Boom. Lights flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom. The squared circle digest. Pyros ignite, shadows dance in the glow. Ringside roar, it's a gladiator show. Chokeholds tighter than the grip of the night. Climbing the ropes to new championship heights. The mental battlefield, no room for doubt. Every move calculated, every scream a shout. The bell tolls louder than a sinner's regret. This is the place where the bold never forget. Boom. The squared circle where legends collide. Boom. No mercy, just a wild ride. Boom. Lights flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom. The squared circle digest. Boom. The squared circle where legends collide. Boom. No mercy, just a wild ride. Lights flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom. The squared circle digest.
And we are live. It is Thursday, 7 p. Although our new day will be Wednesday, but due to my obligations, I was not able to do it yesterday. Put Sean Stanley back, and of course, the great Frankie Fresco back in. And I want to thank Finn Sammy for the intro.
I am shocked. I was not informed of this new intro, sir. How can I be your co-host and not know about the intro, sir?
I wanted it to be a surprise, man.
Yeah, well, you definitely surprised me. I could tell you that much. Good stuff. Thank you. It was really nice, really good, nice work.
Yeah, you know, it's one of the things. I mean, I voiced it, of course. That was me with my new band that we're going to be hitting the road. We're hitting a couple Cracker Barrels and some other places. So come out and see us perform live there. Frankie Fresco, what's been going on, my man?
Jesus, it feels like we've been out of the game for a while, right? Like we haven't done. we're just two busy guys, man. We got a lot of stuff going on. You got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff. I mean, I've been obviously working. You guys want to tune in every Wednesday, 8 p.m. The Cameo Mix Show. I always post it up on all my social media. Also on my Mixcloud, you could catch the replays on Friday. They drop at 10 a.m. 8, 10 a.m. usually is the time I put it. So you could look it up just look up their Fresco, and I usually send the link in my on my social media tag. So been doing that. Was in Las Vegas this past week, so I'm a little jet lagged because of the time frame, the 3 hour
Yeah, I saw the
difference.
Backstreet Boys, right?
Saw the Backstreet Boys out there. I got you the cup, the
Yep.
Backstreet Boys cup.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man.
I don't know if you're gonna accept it, but okay, it's there, it's available.
Oh no, I appreciate it. I can. I love it. I love it. You were thinking about me while you were in Vegas, man. Thank you.
There was a part where the Backstreet Boys went ahead and said, "Hey, they were singing like a really like slow jam song. I don't know other songs. I know the more upbeat ones, but it was like, hey, if you're here with your partner or your girl and all that stuff, and no homo. The first thing I thought about was you, Sean. I was like, man, I wish I was here. No. Just joking. Just joking. I saw that. When he mentioned that crap, I'm like, oh, I'm taking a seat, bro. This is not good.
Yeah, you sat down on that one. How were the seats, man? How was the Sphere?
It's amazing, bro. Like I could only imagine going to something. I mean, the Backstreet Boys were cool. I mean, they're not like my favorite band or anything like that. But if I went to something that was like I really enjoyed, like let's say for example a UFC fight or the boxing or maybe like an artist like Bad Bunny or something like that, I would go 100 times again. Like that was the visual effects top of the notch, man. Nothing. And it's funny because in Las Vegas, there's a thing called Area 15. I did that as well. So if you ever go to Las Vegas, Sean, there's a thing called Area 15, is well known as well. It's only been there for maybe 2 years or so, but it's kind of like a cool little thing for family and kids and all that stuff. So I mean, if you go with your family as well, you can check it out. But the cool thing about it is that they had like an illusion kind of show or something like that, and we were like, okay, let's check it out because I was out there with Memo. Shout out to Memo. And we go in there to check it out, and bro, it's like they're using projectors to show like fishes and a whole bunch of stuff, right? And we remember like, bro, this thing is ass, like compared to the sphere, like this is nothing. Like I don't see anything. We walked out, we were like, this thing sucks. It's trash. No offense to Area 15, but it wasn't good. Now, what I will say was amazing was the John Wick experience. Sean, you got to do it, man. Even if you go, let's say with Big O or something like that, you got to check that out. That it kind of like an escape room, but with actors and everything. It's really freaking good. It is about an hour long, and it's worth it. So definitely, if you ever go there, try to see if you could get that, book that. That was really cool. And then they got like a VR shooting game as well. Like they have like different little zones that you could do a couple things, axe throwing. If you buy the ticket, if you want to do the one day, I think it's like $40. I think if you do the 2 day experience, it's like 120 or something like that, depending on what day you go. Very cool. Very cool. Definitely do the John Wick. You got to set up a reservation for it, but definitely do it. And then, man, I was in a helicopter. I did the helicopter ride in Las Vegas.
That's very brave of you, man.
I did the zip line in Fremont, which was really cool.
Now, did you lay down like Superman, or which way did you go?
I did both. So the cool thing about the one at Fremont was that
You go to the halfway part and then switch.
So you have the one that is halfway sitting down and the other one that's laying down. But if you go there between the hours of like 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon to like 6, you pay for it and you get unlimited. So you get to ride on it as many times as you want.
Cool.
I was able to take advantage of that and get some good camera action out there. And yeah, man, then visited a whole bunch of friends. All my friends that were DJs, they're all like, bro, amazing time over there. I did not win any money. That's the only bad thing. I was up 170, spent it, lost it, then went ahead and took out like $120 and lost that as well. And I was like, okay, my casino time, my gambling is done. I'm not gonna gamble anymore. So I pretty much control it. I will say this, Sean. A lot of escorts out there. In Las Vegas. I didn't know this.
Where did you stay? Did you stay on the Strip or did you stay closer to Fremont? Where were you guys at?
I was on the Strip. I stayed at the Cosmo. So it was
okay. We went there. We were at New York.
New York.
Right? Yeah, the one with
the Empire State Building. Empire? No, not the.
I think I'm wrong. The roller coaster on it.
Yes,
that's New York.
Yes,
right?
yes, that's New York.
It's right next to T-Mobile. Arena.
It has the whatchamacallit, the Statue of Liberty there. I'm sorry, Statue of Liberty.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
right there.
yeah. I
Statue
remember
of
that.
Liberty
Yeah,
was
yeah.
there.
Yeah, I had looked out my window and all we could see was the roller coaster going. I was like,
Oh, really? Did
yeah,
was that a cool hotel? Because the Cosmo
yeah,
was good. The
yeah.
Cosmo wasn't bad.
Yeah, we were there, and then again, we were there for fight. That was the Canelo fight.
Oh, that
We
must have been
went
cool.
there, and we had so many things going on that we were there, and then T-Mobile Arena or at the where did they have the media day was down at
MGM Grand,
I
Caesar's
think it was
Palace.
MGM Grand. I think it was. It was like one of those ballrooms at the MGM Grand. I believe it was.
Out of all the hotels that I went to Caesar's Palace, I went to MGM Grand, I went to the Venetian, I went to the Bellagio, I went to the Aria, I went to New York, New York. Out of all of them, I was impressed with MGM Grand, and the Bellagio was really nice. So I think next time I swim by, I might either stay there or the Bellagio was really, really, really nice, man. So very nice. I love, if you guys haven't been to Vegas, I love the fact that you could also like walk to each hotel. So I don't know if New
Yeah,
York had that as
the
well.
walkway thing. Yeah,
Yeah, that's really cool.
and
Then
we
you
didn't
can,
really have to use it because we had equipment. So we ended up, taking the car everywhere we went because we had to get the equipment. But we did walk to T-Mobile, which really we only went out one and then like right around the corner and it was right there.
yeah, it's like if you're gonna go
But
to the
you could see how all the thing. It was kind of like it was almost like Indianapolis. Indianapolis has all the things that you can walk through all these corridors, so you don't have to stay on the road walking. You can walk through all the corridors, and you end up places all over the place.
yeah, if you want to go like to the Sphere, if you can't find parking, like we were lucky we got parking and it wasn't that much traffic. We got there early. But if you need to find better parking or want to avoid the traffic, you could park at the Venetian and then you could walk from the Venetian into the Sphere. So that I like that. I wish Miami had that where you could like go from one hotel to another like venue, just having to walk. And now I'm not talking about walking outside, walking like you said, the hallways
Yeah,
or whatever.
no, yeah, you're in AC
You're
or
inside.
heat, cold
Yeah,
or whatever. Yeah,
it
you're
could be
protected.
raining and you're good.
Yeah, yeah, especially here with the rain and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, Cap for Life is already in, and EA Minutes is in. Dad's in, of course. Appreciate everybody that's watching us on X, Twitch, Frankie Fresco YouTube channel, Stanley Media House YouTube channel. This is the Squared Circle Digest. We'll be Wednesdays at 6. I think I even jumped on today. I was so excited. I was like, 7p, it's 6p. I'm sorry. I apologize. Hopefully nobody's going off of me for time, because then I think they're an hour ahead. We time traveled here on the Squared Circle Digest. We will discuss the latest in wrestling, talking WWE, AEW, a little bit of everything going on in the world. We've been out for a little bit, for a minute. Frankie, we'll get started with the WWE. And the question I got for you is, what's happening in the WWE right now?
It's kind of lackluster right now, right?
It has been lackluster, man. It has been. I watched Raw this week, and I'm like, you can't just go, like, it's so odd to me, the story that's being told. And Josh, what's up, my man? Thanks for joining in. Like, you can't just go in and be like, you're like, Adam Pearce is like, oh, the deck's going to be stacked against Seth Rollins. And then in 3 weeks, it's gone to everybody hates LA night. Then all of a sudden this week, Jey Uso talks to Roman Reigns, and Roman's like, you can't believe in CM Punk. And you need to believe in yourself and be, this. And then he super kicks CM Punk, and it's like, so now this whole disadvantage that Seth Rollins had, the vision, the architect, and now it's down to every man for themselves now, in a way, in which it would have been anyways. But at least the story could have been, 2 or 3 of them teaming up to try to take out, whatever. And now it's just, hey, here we go.
Well, first and foremost, Jey Uso, you're dead to me, man. How dare you super kick CM Punk, sir? How dare you? The disrespect.
Dude,
I can't
then
believe it.
Roxanne's dead to you. She did a pop rocks to CM
man,
Punk
how
at a house
dare
show.
she? Especially,
That is
but I have a little bit more sympathy for her because they have been together before when he went to NXT and she gave him a hug and everything. So I think in a way she's going through her time, I
I
think
can tell you this right now. That was the worst pop rocks I've ever seen in my life.
That's pretty bad.
I mean, my God, CM Punk, come on. At least take it right for her.
I mean,
Yeah. Couldn't even give it to her.
How small is she? Come on,
Look,
man. She's a
real
midget.
glass. Real glass, CM Punk. You're not going to break, buddy.
It's like me trying to do the pop rocks on you. There's no way it's gonna work. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I wish my knees would go out completely.
You
I
don't
will.
even do it. It's the guy taking the bump. Does it?
Look, it is lackluster right now. The whole fatal four way, but I will say this: at least they have some options moving forward. Like now you have LA Knight, CM Punk, you have CM Punk and Jey Uso, you have LA Knight and Roman Reigns. I mean, not Roman Reigns, LA Knight and Seth Rollins. So you got more matches available after this premium live event this weekend. So I think that's the only good thing. But is it lackluster? Again, I'm not sold on this Seth Rollins,
I mean,
whole
you
like
got it.
thing.
I'm more sold on that. I think what really ended up, to me, hurting them the most is the way they handled the Cena thing.
Yeah,
I'm not even upset that, like, okay, you want to go back, whatever, babyface, because, whatever falling out was had between whoever or whatever you want to do. But then why not just put that into the storyline more than what they did? It's just like all of a sudden Cena, hey, here comes Super Cena is back. And to me, it really rubbed, like, to me, again, myself, not anybody else, it just, like, I thought there could have been more added to it, man. Like, when he rose up from the ground and you saw that look of, I was like, oh, they got us. He's going to be the heel Cena. And then it's just like, boom. And then at the end of the match, he's like, I gave you, that was Cena. You beat Cena, the real Cena. I gave you my all. Like, I mean,
yeah, it was lackluster.
unless they tell a story to where, like, Cena only felt he could beat Cody by cheating. Like, I just don't understand. And then you bring out the break in case of emergency. Like, I mean, what is going on?
Yeah.
I mean, you had Goldberg come back. And now you got Brock Lesnar coming back.
Oh yeah, that was the only good part.
No, man. Look, I get it. Supposedly, I guess there's this list that Cena had, and now, again, they weren't worried about the list when they thought they had The Rock and Travis Scott. Now, they ain't got those two anymore. Now the list comes out, and Brock Lesnar's on there. And again, if you bring him in to take on John Cena because of the wish list or whatever, no problems with that, man. But my understanding is they've signed him to a multi-year deal. And I just don't know where he fits in the WWE today.
I mean, if you saw SmackDown, they had Logan Paul hit the crap out of John Cena, and they brought up Brock Lesnar's name, and then Paul Heyman brought up Brock Lesnar's name, I think, as well, Monday Night Raw. So it just, I don't know, man. It's a little bit lackluster. I agree with you 100%. I don't understand why they kept Cena, or why he made that turn so quickly, or so just abruptly, like, hey, I'm back to being baby Cena. That was kind of lackluster. I mean, if anything, I thought that he should have kept being a heel. I liked him better as a heel, and kind of going, like, he could have gone like that way where he was like giving us baby, but at the same time he's still a heel. Like he was giving us, and just people were feeling it.
People were cheering for him as it was, man. And my whole thing was, stick with the I'm gonna ruin wrestling thing. Keep it boring. Keep it Cena. I mean, that's what you've been doing the whole time. And they cheer. I would have been more like, I did the same thing I'm doing now, and you cheered me for years. Now, because I got a scowl on my face and I'm not hugging babies and kissing kids or whatever you want to do, now you're booing me. You could have done it for longer without The Rock and everything else. You could have been like, look, I made a bad business decision with somebody I thought would be there for me. He's not. I'm going on this trek on my own now. And I'm going to still ruin professional wrestling for you. And kept it going for a little bit longer. I just feel like they're jumping off of, stories so much. And then they did the whole thing with Seth Rollins. And again, we haven't done a show in a while, so we're probably going to go back a little bit on some of the things so that we can go forwards. We have to go to the past to come back to the present. And it's like, okay, you do all of that so that ultimately you're setting up for the cash in for Seth Rollins, and then you can add LA Knight in because he beat Seth Rollins at Saturday night's main event. You got Jey Uso because he's the former champion, and then you got CM Punk who had won the title, and then Seth Rollins cashes in and takes the title away from him in his moment. So they built that, this four-way up in that essence, of everybody having an opportunity for the title. And again, lately it feels to me like there's a lot of stories, but it feels like they're abandoning a couple or cutting a couple quicker than what I believe they needed to.
Well, the thing also too is that I think because they have so many goddamn shows, I think that's why they're doing that. Like they're trying to cater to so many audiences at such a quick moment that they have to kind of like switch one after the other, one to the other. That way they could get the audience to buy tickets and go to these shows, or go ahead and like look, now we got ESPN involved in this, and then now they got to set up something for that WrestlePalooza thing they're doing now. So it's like they got to make it everything wow. And I think they feel that if they keep the storyline the same, it's going to get boring. And the fans are going to be like, yeah, nah, I'm not going to pay for Netflix. Nah, I'm not going to pay for ESPN. Nah, I'm not going to pay for Peacock. And then it looks like they're just trying to kind of like keep it as fresh as possible. But I think in the long run, it's kind of hurting them right now because it's, like you said, it's going in and out too quickly. And I don't find it interesting. I don't find it intriguing. And I'm not liking it.
You're not able to invest in the characters like you were.
Yeah.
Because like with Jey Uso, it's like, oh, okay, all right, I can see some of the things going on. Then it's like, so now is he a heel? Is he a baby? Is he in between? Because as soon as he super kicks CM Punk, he's up to the rope and they're yeeting. The whole crowd's yeeting. And it's like, they didn't even let it register that, oh man, he just kicked CM Punk. It was just like, CM Punk, yeet, yeet. It's like,
but I will say this though, that is impressive that he did the super kick on him, and the people were cheering for.
Oh yes, yes, yeah.
So he's getting more of a love than actual CM Punk.
Again, I think the one thing that they're doing right with Jey Uso now is he's not in the ring with Roman.
That's a good point.
Everything's usually in the back now with Roman. So like, or he came out to save. Like they're not teaming them together. Because I feel like that's the part where it just like again, Jay was in the match and they're chanting, "We want Roman," and it's like, bro, this is what you guys set up because now they think every time Jey Uso is getting beat down, the OTC music is going to hit.
Yeah, that is 100% true. And the other thing too, man, is what's up with these guys coming out in their entrances and taking their sweet ass time to get to the ring? Like Jey Uso did that shit too. I'm sorry for the cursing, but he was like taking his sweet time to get to the ring. And I mean, I don't know. I guess.
No, but again, if you're doing it for me, if Jey Uso took his time in this, it's because they're beating down two guys that he has to worry about in the Fatal 4-Way.
Mm-hmm.
When I do have an issue with it more is that's going to be your tag team partner on a show coming up. And you're not coming down to save them. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's got to be more emphasis on getting to the ring and not celebrating you got a time to do your entrance at some other time. Man. I mean, at some point, you got to act like you want to get there to help out whoever's getting their ass whooped.
Now, let me ask you this, too, because it's interesting. I always felt like WWE was putting LA Knight like in the back burner and not promoting him and not supporting him. They're putting him in this Fatal 4-Way and they're pushing him. It looks like they want to see something from LA Knight. So it looks like Triple H wants to like push him a little bit. Now let's see how it goes after this premium live event, if he's still relevant or they just push him back. But besides Seth Rollins and CM Punk, and now obviously Jey Uso, who's actually getting good pops, do you feel like if something was to happen to Seth Rollins or something was to happen to CM Punk, that Jey Uso and LA Knight can carry Monday Night Raw? Because I think that's one thing we're noticing when you don't see a Roman or you don't see a Cody or you don't see one of these superstars. and you're expecting the other guys to kind of hold the show down, it's kind of lackluster. And we could tell that we're not invested as much when you
Yeah.
don't see one of those guys.
The interesting part for me is Raw stays the same. Raw's fine.
Okay.
But my issue then would be the PLEs. Because that's where, like, to me, your Seth Rollins, your Roman Reigns. For instance, this one right here, like Bronson Reed doesn't mean anything to me on a PLE. Bronson Reed against Roman Reigns, now that can mean something because of Roman. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you put Bronson Reed against LA Knight or Bronson Reed against Jey Uso, not so much for me. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem that they're going to have is like they're trying to make these guys those stars. And again, when they're on Raw, they're treated kind of like stars, but I just don't know on the PLE side. And again, with this new format, again, if you already have cable or something else and you got ESPN, you don't. I pay no extra for this ESPN platform.
Same, because I got DirecTV, so I get.
Yeah, exactly. So again, you know, a lot of people are like, "Oh, now I got to do this and this and this," and most people are not paying, you know, Netflix just for Raw. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at the way they're doing it, they're going to the ones that people already purchase or already have, and now they're getting on there to kind of be another program to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not just going. I didn't buy Netflix because Raw went to Netflix.
Well,
you know
I did.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have Netflix.
You're
So
one of the few.
I didn't have Netflix. I had Peacock and I had what was it? I think it was Peacock and the other one, the one where they're connected to MTV. What the hell is the name of that one? Forgot it. Forgot that. The blue one, the blue looking one. God damn it! What's the name of that app? Paramount Plus.
Oh,
I had
Paramount Plus. Okay.
those two were the only ones I had. But yeah, once they went to Netflix, I had to get Netflix.
Yeah. No. I mean, I guess maybe I haven't seen anybody saying, you know, like, oh, I went and got Netflix because of, and when you look at it, like the ESPN app is the same thing. It's like if you already have, you know, there, you're not going to get it for that. And then when you look at the app, if you are purchasing it, you get it for all the college football. You get it for, you know, there's other things than just being like, oh, I'm paying $29.99 to watch WWE.
Yeah.
So to me, the pressure is off. They don't have to deliver on PLEs again, just like Peacock. You're paying $4.99 for pay-per-views. Enjoy what you're getting. You know what I'm saying? In a way. Again, you're not paying $49.99 for these pay-per-views.
Yeah, but you also still want to keep the value of your show.
No.
That's
Yes,
the reason why
yes,
ESPN
but-
picked them up
Mhm.
and picked them
But
over the UFC.
No, well, they had the the PFL they have already on, you know. And again, there's only so much. Again, with on ESPN, you still paid $69.99 to get the UFC pay-per-views, which you're not doing with
Thank God.
WWE pay-per-views. No, yeah, I mean, I
I'm
know,
worried.
but like, what changes? Like, I don't understand why. And then UFC goes to where'd they go? Where are they at now?
CBS, Paramount Plus.
Yeah, they're Paramount Plus, and you don't have to pay. You pay the thing. You're not paying $49.99 for pay-per-views anymore.
Yeah. I think it's Paramount Plus. Because CBS is the one now that's going to be holding the UFC matches and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're at Paramount Plus. Yep.
So, but again, Sean, for somebody who is a sports fanatic like you and myself, and I'm assuming that a lot of wrestling fans are sports fans. They watch football, they watch baseball,
Yeah,
basketball,
most of
stuff.
them would probably be football.
It makes sense for you to have ESPN because you're gonna probably watch it for multiple things. I didn't have Paramount Plus, but now I'm gonna have to jump back onto Paramount Plus because of the UFC. I like watching the UFC fights over there. So, but at the end of the day, I still think they need to work a little bit more on making some of the guys bigger stars. When you don't have a John Cena or Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns, the show has to be able to maintain its value. And right now, it just feels like they don't have that much, and it's crazy because they brought so many people from the NXT world, and that's another thing I feel like maybe they're having a hard time because now they're working with TNA, now they're working with AAA, now they're working with all these people, and I guess their purpose behind it was, hey, let's try to bring in because Vikingo has made his way over to WWE a couple times too now,
Yeah.
and then you got AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio, all those guys going to AAA, and people tuning in here and there, but I don't know. Maybe it could come to a point where they burn us out with seeing the same guys in one show and then going to the other. Like Dom Mysterio, like I saw him at AAA, but I guess if they could still connect the stories, like I like the way they connected the AJ Styles story over there and all that stuff. I don't know if the Mexican fans um agreed with the whole act of surprise that AJ was over there at AAA,
I mean, they
but
gave him a good little pop when he took the mask off and everything. I don't think they were happy that Vikingo won. That's the thing. I don't think.
Kingo was terrible, man. Like they hate it because Alberto Del Rio. They want Alberto
Well,
Del
no,
Rio to
my
win. He got
understanding,
screwed.
and I was talking to somebody on X that, like, as a AAA person, is Vikingo is John Cena.
Really?
Yep.
It's so crazy because when
And by
Vikingo,
that, I mean, they just feed them down your throat. Vikingo, 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 Vikingo.
and
Vikingo.
this is the problem because Vikingo was really good when he was in helping AEW, and that's how I found out about Vikingo, and I was like, yo, this guy's legit. But now that I see him and he's still doing the same high move and all that stuff,
But that's all he is. Like it's just wow, look at that great stuff. But that can only go so long. That's why he's injured all the damn time. Once you leave your feet, you don't know what the hell's gonna happen, man. And then you're like,
but I'm shocked at how much the fans like Alberto Del Rio, and I don't know why WWE doesn't want to give that guy an opportunity. I know he had his
there's
issues and
more
stuff,
to that story than just
but
being the whole
still,
situation with Paige and all that. There was some more. I know he got into a fight in catering with like somebody that like worked on the crew, not even a wrestler. Again, they've given other people 3-4 chances at stuff. So
look at Brock.
I don't know what the whole situation, but there's got to be more to it than just because even they were talking about the guy that apparently there's one of the guys there that had issues, or Stephanie Vicaire has issues with somebody that's in AAA.
Yeah, one of the female women. Yes.
Yeah.
No, one of the guys. I'm sorry, it was one of the.
It was the guy and the girl. It was the guy and the girl. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was trying to make moves at her, and she felt uncomfortable.
And they were there.
Like that. Yeah.
And they're there. So like, again, I don't know what the whole problem is with Alberto Del Rio, but they're not turning the eye to that one for whatever the reason is, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little bit I don't know, a little bit confusing. I hope they could figure it out because
I think also is, and you're talking about how much moving pieces they have and how they have guys on TNA and this and that, and I feel like you're not able to invest in some of these guys the way you could before.
they got Chelsea Green on NXT, and
I love that. Do you heard what they're doing, right?
yeah, it's her and Ethan Page now, right?
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah,
that
but
with
they're
them.
going to bring them up to the SmackDown roster and get a push as the Canadians.
But here's the thing, like Chelsea Green is so strong on SmackDown, and then you have her at NXT. I don't know how much this could carry on for her. She's doing a lot of work, man.
Yeah, but she can do it because her character is that way. Like again, there's also the understanding, and she understands. I think this is also the other problem.
Well, she's a yes person.
The other part that everybody has to understand is, like you said, yes, she's a yes person. She's going to go and she's going to do her best no matter what the situation is. She understands that, dude, as long as I'm on TV and I'm getting TV time, I'm doing my job. I don't care if I'm getting my face put in a cake.
That is true.
I don't care that I'm the butt of the joke, because somewhere down the line, I'm going to get my payoff. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, how many times she lost to Mick Shin in the garbage can match, and then she becomes the first U.S., women's champion. Yes, you're the butt of the jokes, but you're going to end up getting the payoff to where you can say, see, I told you. And she is like the epitome of that work ethic.
That's rare too, right?
It is to that extent, because she doesn't care. I mean, not saying that she's not worried about winning and losing. She wants to get the program over, and that's why she's on everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And she understands it, and that's why WWE trusts her to go and do whatever, because they know she's not going into business for herself.
Yeah, that's true.
They know she's going to go down there. If you need me to put her over, I'll put her over. If you want me to go over, I'll go over, and I'll be the biggest bitch I can be to make everybody hate me. And the fact that we went over because we're Canadian, you know what I'm saying? Like, and Ethan Page is that too now. Like, I didn't know how Ethan Page would work in the WWE system, because I'd only seen him at TNA and AEW. But when you see him there, you understand, like, yeah, he's all ego, Ethan Page. When he's in the ring, he's a wise ass and this and that. But he's also there to make it work. And that's what you're starting to see with a lot of the guys and gals that they have, is they're there to make it work, make the product work. And the problem that I have is there's so much going on now, is I don't know that you can invest as much in every character to make everything work that they want to make work. Because on NXT, it's exhausting watching 2-hour shows.
Well, did you see that their numbers decreased this past?
Yeah, because there's so much storyline. After a while, you just go, damn, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, man.
Every minute of that show is a storyline.
Yeah.
Like, there's not even a match where you can just go like, oh, this is going to be fun. No, it means something somewhere down the line. It's like, it gets a little exhausting, man. It gets a little exhausting.
And then they're mixing and matching TNA as well. So it's like now you got to kind of tune into TNA a little bit to understand what's going on and stuff like that. Even though they do recaps and stuff, but it's a lot of wrestling. It's a lot of wrestling. They're throwing at us at one time. And I like the way we started this whole topic is they're all over the place. There's too much. I feel like there's just way too much. They're cramping it all up and they're just winging it and throwing this, throwing there, throwing this, throwing there. And at the end of the day, some of us are going to get burned out. Some of us are going to go ahead and be like, yo, the show's kind of lackluster. I don't got to watch it. Like, I was in Vegas. I didn't watch Monday Night Raw. The last 2 Monday Night Raws, I didn't watch them live. I had to come back and watch the replays.
I'm with the schedule I'm running right now, I'm not able to really watch it live. I got to watch it the next morning as I'm doing my stuff here. I'll have it on, and then, but yeah, no, it's just, it's, and then now you got Monday Night Football starting up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be some interesting, but again, that's why they went to what they went to with Netflix, because now you can go watch us Tuesday morning. If you don't watch it or DVR it or whatever, on cable, you watch it or DVR it or whatever. So it's
and I had no
style and different time.
I had no idea, but I watched the last Monday Night Raw on Netflix, and because it's been 2 weeks, it actually the commercials, they weren't kicking in. You could skip the commercials even if you pay the commercials.
Yeah, commercials are not on the replays.
No, they're not on the replay. So then that 2 Monday nights ago, I was able to watch the show without any commercials. And then Monday night's show, I saw it this morning or last night, and same thing, no commercials. So I was like, oh man, maybe I'll
also
start
it's
watching
interesting
it.
because they're overseas, so the show started 3 this week.
Yeah, it's true.
And 2 next week. But the interesting part is sometimes I don't know if they forget or if it's because of a timing issue. Some of them don't play. There's sometimes you get the commercial, and then sometimes it goes right back to the action. So it's an interesting thing with the Netflix. But
it's great, and the quality was that great, right? Did you have that? I was watching this Monday's replay, and the quality wasn't that great on my end. I don't know. And when I saw the Philadelphia Monday night, which was 2 weeks ago, the quality was great. But I was having kind of like crappy quality. It didn't feel like it didn't.
I know
it
went out a couple times on mine. Like it glitched or something, or I don't know if it's my TV again, like you're saying. So I'm not sure 100% there. Sure. But yeah, so to me, that's where WWE is kind of, they're almost too, like you said, maybe just a little bit too much going on to where you cannot get invested in everything they're going on. Anything else in WWE?
No, because we got pretty much the premium live event coming up, so I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
we're
we'll
gonna
be
do those
able
picks at the end of the day. Yep,
we'll,
at the
we'll,
end of the show.
we'll be able to recap some of the fights that are going on with them and all that stuff. One last thing though,
Yeah.
what's up with Brock Lesnar? Is there any word on when he's coming back? Because like you said, they've name dropped him a couple times. So is he coming back after this premium live event, or is he not? What's the word? Have you heard anything on? Because I haven't heard anything yet.
My understanding is he's the main event for WrestlePalooza against John Cena.
Okay. They're going ham on that WrestlePalooza thing, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Oh, we'll see, man. We'll see. But now we have all the premium live events on ESPN. Peacock is keeping Saturday nights, right? Saturday night main event.
Will go exclusively to Peacock. Yes.
Yeah. Does that also mean that they're still gonna show the Saturday night main events on Channel 6 on NBC?
No, it'll only be on Peacock.
Oh, cool. Okay. And then you got USA has Monday Night Raw. Oh no, has SmackDown. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then anything else? No, I think that's it. And obviously NXT is on the WB. WB it is.
CW.
CW. There you go. Sorry, old school. CW. So
and also for those down here in Florida, they're coming. NXT will be here at they are at the War Memorial where the Panthers practice.
Oh snap! Where I did
NXT will, or wait, is NXT there, or is AEW there? Hold on,
well, AEW is coming. I know that.
Oh yeah,
I sent you the message. I was like, "Oh, AEW is coming."
The No Mercy pay-per-view is here. The NXT No Mercy pay-per-view is in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, that's cool.
The main event will be Ricky Saints against Obafemi.
Sir, it's not Ricky Saints. It's Ricky Starks.
Yes, Ricky Saints, as you said. Yes. Yeah.
Screw that Ricky Saints name. I hate it every single time. That's why I don't get invested on Ricky Starks because they put him that stupid name. Same thing with Blair, whatever her new name is. I forgot her name. But no, Mariah May. They should have kept her as Mariah May, bro. I hate the fact that they changed her name too. Like, but she's still smoking hot. Jesus, she's smoking hot. I still tune into her all the time. But anyway, and I'm noticing that they're putting Lola Vice in there too as well. I was like, I'm impressed. Hey, shout out to Damian Priest. It looks like he's going down with Lola Vice too.
Yes, so they will be at the War Memorial.
Oh man, that's where I DJ'd.
And AEW is going to the Hard Rock Live.
We gotta go to the AEW.
Well, yeah, I'll be at NXT. Yeah, I will.
You're gonna go to that? Wait, are they having it at the same time? No.
Yeah, man. Ticket prices start at $136 already.
Yeah, did you see that? Like it's
for the War Memorial show. Right now, you've got Obafemi against the great Ricky Saints. Sol Ruka, to be determined for the Women's Speed Championship because they brought the Speed Championship back to
that exists.
NXT. Wow. And JC Jane will take on Mrs. 305 Lola Vice.
Yeah,
NXT Women's Championship.
Woo, Lola Vice. I might go to that.
954 in the 954.
That's a Tuesday night, so I might go to that one.
No, it's a PLE. It's going to be a Sunday.
Okay, so I might go there on a Sunday.
It's a PLE.
And when is that PLE?
It's September 27th.
Interesting. September 27th.
Saturday, September 27th.
Wow, Saturday, huh? I got to see if I'm DJing. It might be DJing that day.
And then the AEW.
I'm shocked that they're coming back to South Florida because they had a good run here for a minute, especially right after COVID, and then they were having a hard time selling tickets, and I think that's when they stopped coming here. But AEW, we got to talk about them because they lost Will Ospreay, and I think that's gonna hurt them so much. But overall, it's like I wouldn't mind going to one, depending on the prices, man. Depending on prices, if they are as expensive as the University of Miami versus Florida Gator game, then you probably won't see me go out there, bro. I was shocked at how expensive the tickets are for that freaking game, bro.
Really? Were you really?
$384 to go sit in the 300 section. What is this, bro?
They're both. That's what happens when both teams are good, or they think they're good. But you gotta hope one of them goes bad and then they drop.
Yeah, I'm hoping you won loses like 3 or 4 games.
The Gators are terrible.
The Gators are not terrible. The Gators are good this year.
Lagway limping in the season.
Don't curse us. Don't give us that jinx.
All right, it is time to talk a little
Uh-oh.
AEW. Oh yes. So the Forbidden Door pay-per-view happened.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you watch it?
I watched some of it, man. I
I
can't.
saw the
watch
highlights. I was in Vegas,
I can't
so
watch 6 hours spectacular, man. I just can't.
I saw it in Vegas. I saw they were doing. I was like, oh, maybe they're showing it somewhere. They weren't showing it anywhere in Vegas. I can tell you that much. And then the crazy thing was, I was like, all right, screw it. I'm just gonna watch the highlights. And I saw the gruesome stuff that was happening, and I was like, what is going on over there?
Yeah,
in
it's one
AEW?
of those things with them, man. They had the 10-man tag in the cage, which you knew was going to be violent. I mean, of course, you had Swerve against Okada. You had Wardlow return. Swerve's out with an injury now. Just a torn. It wasn't a torn meniscus. He had a torn meniscus since 2019. He got it cleaned up. I believe that's like 6 to 8 weeks for a normal person. Swerve probably already in good shape. Might be able to come back a little bit before that and do some TV stuff, but probably back in the ring in about 6 to 8 weeks, maybe. Ospreay, not so much. He's getting, I believe, neck surgery. And they took him out. I mean,
how bad is he? Is he as bad as Kevin Owens?
I'm gonna say no because they let him wrestle in the match. I mean,
That's true.
I mean, like, and at the end they did a thing where, I mean, he took 2 DDTs, and then they put his neck in the chair, and I mean, dude.
For somebody who has his neck messed up,
I get it. You love the business and you want to do everything you can for them, but no, man, you ain't doing that to me if my neck is that messed up. I know he was told he couldn't do any more damage to his neck. That's what he was told. Again, I'm not the guy that's going to be like, I can't fault Will Ospreay because I understand that you want to be that guy. But, man, I don't know, man, dude. Like, if you take the wrong bump, and I'm sure he talked to the doctor and was like, can't do any more damage. Does that mean if I take a bump, something might happen? And because if that was the case, that's a crazy mofo, man, because you bump wrong, a little bump here, there, or you get hit in the head with a knee. Like, oh, man.
I do want to say something. We were talking a couple minutes ago about WWE and how they feel like they're rushing with their storylines and all that stuff, right? I feel like AEW needs to get off this damn Death Rider storyline, bro. I feel like they're dragging this way too much.
I think they are, but also, I mean, if you look at what's happening right now, say, for instance, last night, right? It was Daniel Garcia against Moxley. Garcia fighting, and then he cuts the promo at the end. He's like, where's all AEW's heroes? All these guys are done. And then the thing I forgot about, and kudos to, I can't remember who on X sent it out. Remember, the one time we complained, we said what? When Daniel Bryan was getting killed by the Death Riders with a plastic bag, and outside the ring, it's Darby Allin, it's Orange Cassidy, and who's looking at him? Daniel Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
And then Moxley was messing with Garcia at the end, and I'm thinking, like, and then they show the picture, and you see Daniel Garcia kind of looking with, like, a little bit of disgust in that picture at that point. If you look at him, he's, like, looking at Orange Cassidy and Darby, and I'm like, okay, all right, we could play this back a little bit to make a thing. But here's my problem I have right now for AEW. And we talked about this when you said, with WWE, when you don't have Roman, you don't have all these guys. You don't have Swerve, you don't have Will Ospreay. Look, they've got me to buy in as Darby Allin as a wrestler and Orange Cassidy as a wrestler. I cannot buy in as them as top stars.
It's hard.
I know he's a crazy mofo and he's going to do everything. He's going to put his body on the thing. But I just can't, visualize Darby Allin. I get it. He's Mr. AEW, what we want to be. But, I just don't see him being like, okay, we got to send guys in the battle. Oh, here's Darby and Orange Cassidy. To me, they're not scaring me. They're not that, it's like what we talked about with, they always want to do those, when it was what was the Young Bucks, Okada, Jack Perry, what were they called again? when they were running roughshod, not the Authority. What the hell were they called? I can't remember what they were.
I forgot.
But then they're like, we'll take on Team AEW. And then they throw out Team AEW, and it's Mark Briscoe, Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, and somebody. I'm like, I get it. I understand that they mean a lot to AEW. But if I'm rolling out a team for AEW, I'm rolling out Swerve. I'm rolling out Will Ospreay. If you want to throw Cope up there, Will Hobbs, Samoa Joe, like I'm putting those guys up there if I got to go to battle with somebody. And to me,
it wasn't the Blackpool Combat Club and stuff like that, no? It wasn't that. It wasn't called
Blackpool Combat Club was Brian, Claudio. Before they became Death Riders, that was Blackpool Combat Club.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember what exactly they were, but they had it was something elite maybe or something like that. They had a play off of it or something like that. But like I just don't buy into them. I love what they're doing right now. I don't have a huge complaint on a lot of the stuff that they're doing with the Death Riders. Now, I thought last night got a little bit discombobulated.
Yeah.
With the whole thing at the end where it's Claudio and Darby, and Claudio's like just throwing Darby all over the building, and then he hits the little the backdrop coffin drop.
Yeah.
And he gets the 1, 2, 3, and then everybody hits Gabe Kidd and all them hit, but he's able to escape out, and there's the big brawl, and I just felt like there was a lot going on at the beginning and at the end of that Dynamite. And then I know they did the cool thing for Taz, which congratulations on that.
That was cool.
At the 2300 arena, not the ECW arena, the 2300 arena. But all in all, I mean, I felt like they could have done a little bit more homage to the Extreme a little bit than what they did. But I also understand what AEW is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more wrestling, not necessarily, unless you're in the 10-man tag or things like that, you're not going to get all those matches, although they did have the street fight a little bit last night. So, but I don't have an issue with what's going on. My worry now with them two gone is who's going to be that guy to, I mean, like, I
Chris
just don't
Jericho.
know. No, there's talk. He's going to WWE, buddy.
I heard that, man.
He's going back.
I heard that he wants to end his career in WWE.
Yeah. I mean, but maybe sign a 1-day contract to come in.
What about Karrion Kross? Maybe they bring Karrion Kross.
Maybe I still don't know what's going on with that, man. It's so funny because everybody was like,
"Daily Show" the other day.
No, I know, but the funny thing was, everybody was like, "Oh, he's got to be signed because his price is too high." Then all of a sudden, the price is a little low enough to where now he can do indie shows. So I don't know. Again, man, it is what it is. I know they went and they got WWE. I'm talking about. Got the Slapjack name, which was part of Retribution, if you remember them. So, again, look, man, I'm just happy right now that, look, WWE's doing well. Again, I'm not saying I agree with everything they're doing. I feel like they're moving a little too quick. AEW, you can say they've dragged this out a little bit, but it's going to be very interesting to see where it goes now because you've lost Ospreay. So now you almost have to keep it going till Ospreay comes back, right? Because he's got to come back for a revenge against them.
Well, hold on a second.
They put him out twice.
We had Kenny Omega came out yesterday, and Kenny Omega was like buddy again with Hangman Page, right?
Yeah. They're buddy now. They're buddy again, buddy.
So then, like, Hangman just beat MJF. So who's the next opponent for? I know they were trying to put somebody from the Don Callis family to go against Hangman Page, right? I think that's like.
Well, they had Josh Alexander come out, but I can't think that like he's the pay-per-view opponent for, I think that's kind of like setting up for the next it
might be Wardlow.
They're doing the thing with Takeshita too, where I think he's leaving Don Callis. It looks like him and Wardlow kind of looked at each other. Him and Okada were battling it out a little bit in the tag team match.
Yeah.
So I think you might end up seeing him leave. And he just won the G1 Climax tournament over in Japan. So
my question, so then who's going to be Hangman's next opponent for him to defend the AEW championship belt?
To me, it almost feels like it's going to be MJF again.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Was MJF on the show yesterday? I don't think so. Was he?
No, he just did a thing. They had him do a promo after he lost.
Gotcha.
From Forbidden Door. They played that. And then, and then like Tony Khan went on a thing after the show, after the pay-per-view, and was like, there's no more cash in right away for a contract. You got to give at least 7 days notice. So
stupid about that shit. I know they're trying to be different than Money in the Bank and cashing in the briefcase, but who cares? Like,
yeah,
it's better to be spontaneous than just go ahead and predetermine it. Like, what's the point of that match now? What's the point of winning that contract? Like, it's stupid. I like it when it's spontaneous. It creates it not only does it create some suspense, but it also can elevate another wrestler who probably
but you also have to remember Tony Khan is the guy that wants to advertise the whole card. Think about it. They've already advertised matches for 2 weeks from now.
Yeah,
because they're in like the 2300 arena for like the next, I think three Dynamites or 2 Dynamites.
Yeah, they signed like a contract with them, right?
Yeah, they got like a thing. There's a big, huge thing because I guess they don't use union workers. They don't use the unions at the arena there.
Yeah, they were protesting, right?
There's a little protest outside, yeah. And again, look, they're not hired by AEW. AEW pays the building, and then the building, however, could AEW went to another building that has union? Yes, but at the same time, they're probably not going to a building that's going to cost. It's business too, man.
Yeah,
business, man. So we had Chris Jericho possibly going out. I don't know. Did you see the Jake Hager comments about Tony Khan and
big time?
And then FTR came out and defended him, like it wasn't us. We were there. We weren't not there. It was us, not us.
So when it comes to the Jake Hager stuff, I feel like he's a little bit salty as well.
Oh no, he is definitely.
He's salty, but I think there's some truth into what he said as well.
Yeah.
But
it does put a different spin on Tony Khan, right? The fact that he if again allegedly he runs into an all wrestler meeting and says, if I want to put you in a 6-man tag 6 minutes before the bell rings, I will. Like, I never would have thought Tony Khan would say that to anybody.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. But I do remember us saying that when Cody Rhodes left AEW, it felt like the wrestlers started to go all wild, like they were.
And that's what he said too. He said everything changed when Cody left.
Yeah, like Cody was the one who kind of held it together there, and Cody has kind of insinuated himself saying that.
Yeah, but he can't say anything. He signed an NDA.
Yeah,
he'll never be able to.
He kind of
because he even came out. Somebody asked him about it, and he said, "Look, I cannot comment on it. Hopefully, one day somebody will be able to tell my story of what happened. I cannot."
But when he says those things, and you start hearing like the Jake Hager comments, you kind of put 2 and 2 together, and we know that Cody Rhodes left AEW upset.
Yeah, well, you can put the 2 and 2 together to when he left, they slid down a little bit.
Yes,
they kind of like there was a drop after that little bit of time there. It was kind of like they had lost their way a little bit.
And did you see the stuff? I think he mentioned CM Punk on there as well. On the comments, again, man, it's like,
well, he said after the CM Punk thing happened, it was Jericho, Moxley, Bryan Danielson, and somebody else called an all wrestlers meeting, and then that's when Tony Khan came in yelling, and he said he was upset. And again, this is where like understanding where you stand in the company and having a realistic approach too. Like when I look back think about the inner circle, all right? I look at all those guys that were in there. Jake Hager was cool wearing the hat and he was the big guy. But like he got upset because Tony only offered him 18 months after it left and he had done the 2 Stadium Stampede matches and all that stuff. But at the same time, there was 8 other guys actually technically, or 9 other guys because it was 10, 9 other guys in that match. It's not just you. So like I feel like he kind of had this thing where he deserved more. And when you look back at it, I don't know that. Look, man, not taking anything away from him because he could run circles around me and he could do whatever he wanted to do. In real life, he's a legit badass, in the ring, and he's done some MMA and all this stuff. But like, you have to understand where you're at in that thing. I mean, they weren't even using him. He was more known for his hat than anything else.
Well, the thing also, he mentioned that Chris Jericho was the main reason why he was part of the inner circle and was part of AEW for the most part. So he always had like his bad taste saying, yo, like Tony Khan never believed in me. But
Yeah.
he still offered him 18 months contract. So like, you're not a superstar. You're not like amazing. You're not like one of the top notch wrestlers. I think you should be appreciative that he at least offered you the 18 months.
Yeah, because he
And
could have been like, I'm not offering you anything.
yeah, like that's why I feel like he's salty in that aspect. Like, yo, dude, you're not the hottest shit in the world. You know, you
Well, it's
were,
right. You got to have a realistic stance on what you are.
yeah, like
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
you saw why MJF got paid, and it was because MJF has elevated his character and has elevated to the point where,
well,
hey,
that, but you
want to
watch
watch him.
when MJF is on the show, the ratings do go up.
Yeah, when Jake
ratings
Hager is
do go
there,
up.
nobody even knows he's there.
Yeah, dude, I've always said, look, if you make money or you're a good enough draw, WWE's not letting you go.
Yeah, facts.
It's not, man. They're not. They don't do that. If you're making money or you're a draw, they're not letting you go.
100%. I agree with you.
They're not. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, it's
Strong comments from Mr. Jake Hager, but I don't even know if anybody picked him up. I think he's just doing. I haven't even seen him in any show.
he's not doing anything really.
So that goes to show how far his motivation is as well. Because I gotta look, Karrion Kross is a good example. Yeah, he felt look. So let's compare both of those guys. So you got Jake Hager and you got Karrion Kross. They both got offered contracts, right? Karrion Kross went to WWE and told WWE, hey, WWE, you're giving me this little bump, because he said it all at the Ariel Helwani show. If you guys didn't watch that, it happened like 2 weeks ago. And he went ahead and he said, how did you come up with that number? Right? Like, how did you make that decision that that's what I'm worth? Which is a very reasonable question. Jake Hager, I don't know if he had that conversation, because he did mention that trying to get a hold of Tony Khan was very difficult and all that stuff. But if you look at Karrion Kross and what he brings to the table in WWE, and you look at Jake Hager, what he brings to AEW, Karrion Kross had sales. Karrion Kross had a storyline. Karrion Kross was in that SummerSlam double 2-night event. Jake
And
Hager,
they were chanting his name, and Triple H thought it was, we want Brock. Oh, you got him. What? They said we want Kross.
yeah. And then not only that, but right now, if you go to WWE, Karrion Kross's merch is on sale, and when you click on it, it's like on hot sale. So people are buying his merch because now it's even more
And he's
discount.
getting 1.9 million views on things that he's posting. His song,
His book,
his whatever, man. I mean,
everything is going great for him. So
Yes.
that guy has a reason to complain and say, "Yo, how did you come up with this dollar amount for me?" And plus, I don't think they were gonna re-sign his wife. So
yeah, there was talk that he wasn't. This is why, again, I'm not saying, but I feel like this is all part of an angle, man. They're going to come back,
really,
and they're going to be the retribution. I feel like this. I honestly, man, I just feel like
wow.
there's so much shit, and I honestly think they're bringing Shotzi back with them.
I saw Shotzi was ham with them, bro.
They're doing the thing with the whole thing, and they were just cursing and F-bombs everywhere. And I'm like,
They were.
dude, if those two came back like that, and then you throw in the other guy that got cut by WWE, and you bring in one more person, man, that's been cut recently, and they're coming back for retribution against the WWE for wrongs done to them, Karrion Kross could tell that story, and it's legit. Because it happened to him.
That's a very good point. That's a very good freaking point. You're right. And it will be sold. People will buy into this.
100%. It's true. You could just live. Most of the stuff that he said was really happening, and people saw it. That's why they're like, we want Kross. He was only speaking the truth.
Now, why is it? Now,
but again, you watched it, and he said, everybody's scared of me. Nobody wants to take me on. I'm trying to turn Sammy. And then he got Sammy to hit him, and he's like, oh, he's right in my plan. And he got on a pay-per-view match. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was part of the story. It's like...
Now, if you were Tony Khan, would you have jumped on that immediately to try to sign Karrion Kross?
This is why I think it's a storyline. There's no way if you're not Tony Khan, you're not giving that guy top money to come over there.
Do you know how many? Do you know how many fans he would take away from WWE too?
Even if you sign him 1 year, top money for 1 year, and we'll rediscuss afterwards. But for the first year, I'm going to pay you millions. Dude, he's going to bring you guys just because he shows up over there. Now, again, I don't know how the presentation of him going over there is going to work because I don't think they can do the intro that they do at WWE at AEW. I don't know that the production's that good. They're getting better at production, but I just don't know that, you're going to be able to do all that stuff because they work on that. They go over and over and over to make sure that, the lights come on at the right time. Scarlett's in the right spot. You can't see him from the camera angle until right when Scarlett moves and he comes into the shot. It's TV, man. That's the thing where I don't know if the presentation would be that much.
They still did the black and white with Tony Storm. So if they're able to do that, they could probably do something like that for Karrion Kross, and C used to do that as well. But I will say this. I agree with you 100%. If Tony Khan, if he was a free agent and he's out there, I would sign him immediately because 100%. Especially now that you have Swerve and you have Will Ospreay hurt, what better way to gain the fans again a different flavor by bringing Karrion Kross over, and then you could elevate him and put him up. Against people would love to see him against Moxley. People would love to see him against Darby. Like these guys would be a really good opportunity to. AEW would have a really good shot. But again, like what I feel like Jake Hager sometimes, or Jack Swagger, or whatever his name is nowadays, mention, sometimes I guess Tony Khan has a big ego of himself and he feels like, hey, if I don't need him, I don't need him. And if and it's his way or the highway, which, like you said, I am surprised.
After hearing that, it gave me a different perception of Tony Khan. It really did.
But still, Sean, that it would have made perfect because you remember we mentioned a while back that he should have been like the devil, and we were like, yo, he would have been perfect because he actually does do that.
Like all of that stuff. Like instead of having Jack Perry pile drive him, they should have hugged right there in Jacksonville. Right there in Jacksonville. That would have been the place where Tony Khan turned heel on AEW.
And it would have worked too, because at the same time,
he was hated, the CM Punk thing, and then it would have looked like him and Jack Perry were in on it all along together. You couldn't have wrote it any better if him and Jack Perry ended up being on the same side.
Ooh.
And then they just throw jabs at Punk every once in a while. Like, I mean, it would have been there. It would have been easy stuff. That's low-hanging fruit.
Yeah. They decided to go with the Death Riders. And like I said, for me, that Death Rider story, I thought it was over, but I guess they'll keep going. I thought when Hangman Page finally beat Moxley, I thought they were going to like kind of slow them down, but apparently not. Especially now they need them. That's the problem too. Like you said.
Well, the thing is, they're a great heel faction. They don't need the belt.
I don't know.
They did it right by getting the belt off of him. Because now you have that angle going on with everybody challenging Hangman. So that's one story.
Okay.
And then you have the Death Rider story that's already built in. Then you have the Tony Storm, Mercedes Moné story that's ultimately going to come back around again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then you have, the Hurt Syndicate and kind of the new Ricochet group.
Yeah.
That's kind of taking aim there. You got the Don Callis family that's growing, every week they add somebody. It was funny. Somebody put next Forbidden Door is going to be like the World versus Don Callis family.
Yeah, it's so true. They keep adding these guys. It's fucking funny.
And Luchasaurus came back, and now everybody's like, well, and then Jack Perry the other day posted a video of him jumping off a cliff, and now everybody's like, oh, Jungle Boy's coming back.
Maybe.
So, again, it'll be very interesting because also on the BTE, being the Elite, Jack Perry tried to call one of the Jacksons and they sent him the voicemail.
I will say I like the fact that they've been screwing with those guys. Funny, like they
Oh,
put
that
the
is great.
Hanson song. I think it was the
Yeah.
Hanson song. That
And
was funny
they came out
because that was one of their first songs when
yeah,
they were in
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
indies.
No, no.
That is
All
so
of this,
awesome. I love that.
is going back to stuff that they did in indies
That is good. I like
or
that. That's
whatever,
cool.
man.
That's
Yeah,
creative.
TNA. The one time they did the what they wore in TNA. I forget what their group, they wore over there. So yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that. That was creative.
No, man. I mean, again, I like creatively. I like the way both are going, but I almost feel like WWE is trying to do too much creatively, whereas AEW now has kind of found a nice niche. You know, again, you can argue, oh, the Death Riders is going a little long or it might get a little bit stale, but I feel like they spice it up just enough each time to where you're like, okay. But again, I don't buy in that Orange or Darby is the saviors. I mean, yeah, they're great. Darby will do anything, sacrifice his body, but to say that they end up saving, like, I almost feel like they have to keep it going until, you know, whatever the prognosis for Ospreay is. Ospreay needs to come back and be the ones to finally eliminate the Death Riders, and then his march to the top and being the face of AEW can continue as long as hopefully everything goes well with the neck and everything else there.
Yep.
So, all right. The next topic we're going to discuss, which is something that's been discussed throughout.
This is
And
the one we wanted to talk about, right?
And you know what we're going with this, right, Frankie? The Raja Jackson
Yep.
and the it was I get it's Sicko Stew or Psycho Stew is
Psycho, yeah.
yeah, it might be Psycho SYKO Stew. There was an incident that happened, and I ended up, again, I don't want to discuss a lot about it until I looked at a lot of things and saw a lot of things. This is the one thing I will say right now to start all of this.
Okay.
No matter what you think about anything, Raja Jackson did not need to throw 22 punches. Regardless of however you want to do this, and again, I've watched other videos where there was wrestlers in the back that kind of hyped him up like, oh, you need to give him a receipt and this and that. And here's the thing. You're talking to a guy in Raja Jackson that doesn't understand the wrestling world. Doesn't know what the hell a receipt is. And a receipt is something where if I punch you in the ring, you punch me back. That's a receipt. A receipt isn't trying to kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where, and again, I'm going off of what I've been reading. I don't know how many stories have come out, but apparently there was an altercation before that. Knox Pro said this was set up to be an angle that somebody took a selfish act on. Apparently there was a bottle or a can or something. I've heard different things said that Psycho Steve ended up hitting Raja Jackson in the back of the head.
Was that the video?
This was hours earlier. To set up what was supposed to go down this part that I'm going to show you in a minute. And apparently from what I've heard is Stu went and apologized to Raja, but then there was some wrestlers within the Knox Pro that were, and I think you've seen some of the videos of that one where the guy's like, oh, you got to get your receipt. And he said, oh, I was just in character and all this stuff. Well, here's the problem with all this. And this is where I'm going with, there's a lot of issues with this, is the fact that, one, there was already hostility starting. You can already tell that Raja wasn't there to be able to do this. If you get hit in the head wrong and, they went back and he apologized to you, you can be like, I'm not going to take your apology, or he did on purpose or whatever. But at that point, they should have realized that, okay, this is done. The fact that you can't get hit and be professional about it, understanding what pro wrestling is, and you're gonna already your ego is not checked at the door. And he's streaming all this on his kick with everybody, fueling the fire. Oh, you let him try you like this, and you can see him getting madder and madder. If you've watched any of the kick streams, he's like, oh, I'm really gonna go in there, I'm gonna punch him, I'm gonna hit him, I'm gonna knock him out. And you're doing all this, and you still set up the angle. This is where Knox Pro has some liability. The one wrestler that was in the back that fueled it all, he's got responsibility. Then I watched another video. I'm going to roll this here, and hopefully it rolls good enough. But actually, let me do something real quick. I'll keep talking. Frankie, jump in here. Give a little bit of what your opinion on this is while I get this set up real quick. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I agree with you that he should not have taken 22 shots on his head. I think that's grounds for an assault case, and you could go ahead that far because you don't need to do that to somebody, especially after you realize that you knocked him out. He hit his head, and he obviously suffered a concussion when he slammed him down, so the guy was not moving. It's kind of shady and kind of like cheap shots from Raja Jackson doing that. Now, here's my thing. If you do watch the kick scene, he is going ahead for a couple times, and he is being communicated with the rest of the guys in Knox Pro, and he gives like this double emotion. Like, it doesn't feel like he's to the point where he's gonna snap. He feels like he understands where he's coming from. So when you go and you say, hey, I'm gonna blame Knox Pro, I don't agree with you with that. I'm being honest with you. And this is the reason why. Because they all had a conversation. They all apologized. Now, maybe whatever you show me here, maybe it'll change my mind. But from what I have seen, when they're talking to him, he doesn't show any act of like, yo, I'm going to kill this guy or anything like that. When you're with rage, you will have that look in your eye like, yo, something's wrong. This guy is wrong. Something's wrong with him. None of these wrestlers got that vibe from him. None of these wrestlers, not even the wrestling Knox Pro, did not go ahead and say, hey, look, we feel edgy that this guy's going to snap and do something wrong. They never got that vibe. Now, were they being negligent? I don't know. Based on the videos of what I saw, I don't see Raj Jackson going ahead and act like he was gonna like destroy the guy and do anything wrong. He actually shook the guy's hand, said, okay, no worries, stuff like that. It looked like everything was squashed. So why would you blame the other wrestlers? Why would you blame the wrestling? I know he's not in this world of wrestling.
He doesn't understand what the terminology is. Receipt.
I understand that. But
at that point, if he was still upset about getting hit in the back of the head, that's a red flag. That's a red flag.
But
if
Sean,
that little bit upset him, that's enough to where, like, no, okay, we're good. Thank you. We appreciate your time, but we're not going to go this route.
Here's my issue, man. Here's my issue. I understand that he's not part of this world, part of the wrestling world, but neither are you or me. Well, I can't say you because you wrestled, but me, I'm not part of this world. Yes, I watch the show, and yes, I do all that stuff. I'm pretty sure he's seen wrestling. There's no reason why he would be out there if he didn't know what the hell wrestling was in the first place, in my opinion. If this was his first time stepping at a wrestling show, actually looking at wrestlers, doing all that stuff, then I agree with you 100%. The guy doesn't know anything about wrestling.
Anybody, no matter what person, was going to be the special. I mean, we had coaches from like sports teams. Anybody we did came to our school. And they went through all the steps of what, listen, we're going to make you look like an ass here, but you're going to get your comeback here. We want you to understand what's going on. We want you to understand that you're going to kind of get, made a fool of, or you're going to get attacked, or you're going to get beat down in front of your kids and your wife and stuff during this time, but you're going to get your comeback here. You explain to him very simple, because unfortunately, there's a lot of ego, man. There's a lot of ego. And this guy is on his kick, which, again, I've never really done kick, but he's on the stream, and they're just like, oh, he punked you and this and that. And this
but
and that.
Sean, like, are you kidding me? You're going to let comments, like, when we have comments,
he was sitting there in the crowd. He's like, I'm really going to punch this mofo. I'm going to hit this mofo.
Yeah, but
this and that. Like, oh, that's at that point.
And that's why his part in this, 100%, that assault should be placed on him. But why are you going to blame the wrestling show? Why are you going to blame the wrestlers who were involved in this? They don't know this guy any better. You went ahead, you had conversation with him.
So wait a minute. Let me ask you this, man. In pro wrestling, when I'm in the ring with somebody, I'm putting my livelihood in their hands. If I don't trust them, I'm not doing business with them.
But did you get the vibe that any of those guys felt like they didn't trust him? After the whole incident, after they apologized, after the guy was telling him, hey, look, you're going to get your receipts and all this stuff. And none of those guys, when you're dealing with somebody, you don't have to be a wrestler, just a normal person. Just go ahead. And I'll give you a perfect example. I went to go see my boy. He was DJing at a club, a small like club / bar. We were there. And there was an altercation where it got heated, that some girls were saying some things to the other girls, and there were different groups. There was like 5 on 6 or something like that. Well, anyways, they closed down because they closed early. It was for brunch. We step outside, and as I'm walking, I'm with my brother. There's this big, tall black guy. I'll never forget him. And he looked like he ready to punch somebody. Like this motherfucker was ready to fucking knock anybody out. The moment you look at him, he was already gonna go ahead and like call something. We already knew that. So I already know that once I see that guy, I'm not gonna approach that guy. I can't talk to that guy because that guy has so much adrenaline to him that he could actually hurt me. I didn't get that from Raja Jackson. I didn't get that. They were still talking to him. The wrestlers were still talking to him. The wrestlers were still telling him all this stuff, and he was responsive. And in no time did you see that guy like crunch his hands and be like, yeah, I'm going to fuck that guy up or anything like that. He never did any of that. He misled those guys. That's what he did.
He did on the stream, though. That's what I'm saying. On the stream, when he's sitting in the front row, he is saying, I'm really going to hit this guy.
I don't remember. I remember him. I don't remember him saying, "Oh, I'm gonna swing at him 22 times." I just remember him saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna get him back."
Raja, prior to when he did, he said, "It's always been my dream to fuck up a pro wrestler," and he was really going to hit him. This is what he's telling his stream.
Damn. Well, that's why when it comes to him, I agree 100% that guy has a lot of blame, all the blame. But I can't blame the wrestlers because what he's saying to his kick fans watching is not what he's portraying to the wrestlers on that program, on that indie show, and to that organization, to Knox Pro. He's not portraying that. He's showing them a different face.
As a company, you've got to step up and do what's right for you.
But how do you know? How do you know that he's going to go ahead and do that to somebody?
Listen. First off, here we go. If as soon as the first incident happened, if he was upset about getting hit in the back of the head, that should be a flag right there, man.
Yeah, and then the guy apologized.
Yes,
then you see him shaking hands and saying, "Okay,
great, it's done. Okay, done." But we're not going to continue it any further because we can see that this is not going. Dude, if you're already worried about that. Like,
if you show the video of him apologizing and you take a look at Raja Jackson, he's not showing any signs of like, yo, I'm going to fuck him up. He didn't show that. He is misleading to everybody around him. He's actually acting like, yeah, I accept his apology. But behind the scenes in his kick, he's like, nah, screw you guys. I'm going to fuck this guy up. And so that's why I don't give him any leeway for what he did. That guy sucks, and that guy needs to be punished.
I'm going to go into this a little bit more here. And again, 100% blame. This is a part where like this can go like 300% blame in a way, because I blame Knox Pro. I blame any of the wrestlers that were instigating in the back, telling them you go out and get receipts, because this guy doesn't know what is a receipt and what isn't a receipt. This goes back to where a lot of people are also talking about Mark Henry. When Mark Henry first came into the wrestling business, he didn't understand. He did not understand like all this, the ins and outs of everything. WWE was going to let him go because he was going to hurt somebody. They sent him to Canada, to the dungeon, to work with the Hearts. And they taught him pro wrestling. Because again, he's coming from a place where I'm the world's strongest man. Nobody's going to punk me. Nobody's going to do this. Nobody's going to do that. So, and again, and Karun is kind of going where I'm going at. Because, again, you can accept an apology, but this is where I blame Knox Pro. Because at that point, if you already have to apologize to him for that, like, he's about to get his payback from what happened. Whatever the incident was that happened earlier, again, as I told you, we used to tell him, look, you're going to get made a fool of, you're going to get your ego crashed a little bit, but then you're going to get your comeback here. And he went on Kick, and again, I don't know what all the comments were saying, but you could see him sitting in the front row, and you could see him festering. And as I just read what he said there, it's always been my dream. Again, now is he doing this in, whatever? If he's doing, you think he's doing it in a character or whatever else there. But now I want to play this for you, because this came from a front row seat that leads in. Now, I'm hoping it plays well. If it doesn't, I'll try to get it to where I want to get it to, because I want to show you something else to where this goes with what Frankie's saying when you watch this video, okay? But again, this is where if it's me, if I'm in that position, one of two things is happening. I've already communicated with somebody else, either in the back or in this match, that I'm not feeling comfortable with this. If it goes sideways, make sure you're there. Okay? Because I'm going to play this, and you're going to see a couple instances where how it plays out. Because as Frankie says, he apologized, and I'm thinking what they thought is exactly what Frankie said. Everything's good. We're good. Let's go. Okay? So now I'm going to try to play this through. It's going to be a little bit toward the end of their match here at the Knox Pro match. This is when Raja comes in with Psycho Stu. And I'm going to stop it on a couple of things and explain what's going on a little bit. And it'll give you a little bit more of almost to help where Frankie was going.
Because he told us! So watch it, okay?
Come on, Stu.
Shut up, it's a new suit.
Hey man, why you got a new suit every match? Oh no.
No!
You gotta leave the sound on so you can hear what's going on.
Stu, he's got the flag.
You can hear me,
What
Frankie?
is there? Stop it!
No, no.
So that's Stu right there crawling right now with the ref and the manager there. Now
Can you
watch.
pause it for a second? Just to make sure, guys on the chat, can you hear it? I just want to make sure. Give us a thumbs up just to be on the safe side.
It's kind of low as it is, but that's what I'm trying to not
because I
talk
can hear it,
over
but I want to make sure that you guys on the chat and the people on the live stream, that you guys can hear it. That way we don't have one of you guys give us a thumbs up. Adrian, what's up, man? No doubt. Karun, one of you guys. Okay, cool. Perfect.
Okay. All right. So now that's Stu crawling over toward the ref and the manager on the apron. They go to him. Look, he's trying to tell the ref to tell the manager what to do next. The ref is not understanding this. So now he goes over to the manager. Now he's telling the manager, tell Raja to start coming. There goes the manager over. He's talking to Raja. Here comes Raja. There goes the slam. He's already out. And then the punch is consumed. Now watch. The camera's going to scan over here toward another wrestler who's kind of like, is this what's supposed to be going on? That is the guy that ultimately goes in the ring and pulls him off of Stu after all the punches were landed. Now, here's where, again, I don't know how long all of these guys have been in the business. Watch what happens here at the end. This guy's unconscious. Unconscious. Watch this. Right here. Watch this. And watch the ref does. He does a 3 count while this guy's laying in the ring unconscious.
Wow.
Like, and again, this is where, like, to me, there's nothing that can say that Raja wasn't, but to me, it shouldn't have got to that point, is what I'm trying to say. That's where I put a little bit of the blame on Knox Pro. And I can understand what you're saying. They might have thought that everything was okay. But to me, the fact that we're already apologizing 2 hours before a show starts over something that we were trying to build, that's a red flag to me, man.
All right, let me ask something.
Social media and everything else, you know, again, it may have got to him. Maybe he was good, and then on the social media, but again, this is when you're dealing with somebody that's not from the wrestling world who feels like they got punked out, and now they don't understand that this guy thinks he's giving you his body because he trusts you, which I would never do if it's the first time I work with somebody. And then you get taken advantage of like that.
Here's my first train of thought. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, because I know you've wrestled. I haven't. I'm just a fan from outside. But if you're the referee and you start seeing this guy lay punches like that, why didn't the referee say something, or why didn't the referee get involved?
There was a couple wrestlers that try to pull on and they just back off of him. Like, no, dude.
Yeah, like you tell that
be there for your people. Like that. Look, me and you might hate each other, but if somebody jumps in the ring to come after, it happened in a Stone Cold Triple H match. Stone Cold's laying down, a guy jumps in the ring, and Triple H is bombarding the guy at a live event. But
when it comes to that, I do, I do criticize that the other wrestlers there did not have his back. And maybe the ref wasn't, he's not a wrestler. Maybe he's afraid. Maybe he didn't know any better. But as soon as I would have seen that, I would have said something. I would have done like this to somebody.
That's the whole thing. At that point, it's like, bro, this isn't. Look, he lands one really hard, like Travis Scott, one slap. He leaves. You think if he would have turned around and did 22 punches, somebody else isn't like in there like, what the fudge are you doing?
Now, Karun has a question for you, Sean,
Mm-hmm.
which is a good question. Let's see if you could answer that for him.
Yeah, they do sign documents, but it's not going to help you in this instance because this wasn't part of the show. Might have been the slam where you knocked them out because, again, as a wrestler, you're taught you tuck your head, you kind of go limp. The problem with that is when he slammed him down, because he was limp, his head hit the mat and it knocked him out. That's a UFC slam. That's what, and again, this is where it goes with pro wrestling, where you are just an inch away from doing legit shit. These guys are putting their bodies on the line, and the chokes, the arm's not underneath the throat, but it's wrapped right here. If I wanted to take advantage of you, I could. That's where that trust comes in. I have to trust that you're gonna, be there when I jump. I got to trust that you're going to take care of me when you pick me up to slam me and not drop me on my head, or you do a belly to back suplex or something like that. You are putting your trust in there. If there is an ounce of that, I don't know you or it's the first time we're working, there's certain moves. And again, I'm not in WWE and things like that. It's different because they're working out before the show if they haven't worked before. But if I'm going to a new area, keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, so
you're not going to get me up on like a superplex or something the first time I wrestle you. I don't care, unless you're a guy coming from, WWE or somebody that I know that, okay, you'll take care of me. But if it's me and Frankie and it's the first time I'm meeting Frankie, no, we're not doing crazy stuff.
Yeah,
I'll work you. We'll have some fun. We'll do our thing, and then I grow into okay. I know you can work, and I'll do more stuff with you.
Yeah, it's like when we joke around and you're like, Frankie, I'm gonna throw you through a table or something like that. I'm not gonna go and just tell you, hey, Sean, go ahead and throw me through the table. That's the first move. No, I want you. I gotta see what I could take, how to bump correctly and all that stuff. Let me ask you something because you mentioned something very crucial here, is that you would not have allowed him to pick you up and done that move. So in a way, can you who is to blame for that? Is it Knox Pro for going ahead and allowing that? Or is it Psycho Stu for going ahead and agreeing to letting him pick him up like that and do that move?
No, I mean ultimately the blame is on, to me, Raja and Knox Pro, but also as I'm not also going to allow him, again, you had a good point. I'm not saying that your point's not valid where they thought everything was good. But to me, a red flag would be, wait, you're already complaining because you got hit in the back of the head, which apparently was agreed upon. That was a part of the angle that was going to be the reason why you're coming in the ring at the end of the night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now it's already somewhere I'm sorry. And then you pull this.
Well,
that's the part that's to me where it falls on Knox Pro and on any of the wrestlers that were back there instigating. I don't give a shit if you're in character or not. If you're telling this guy that has no clue and you're throwing gas on his, his anger already built up, that's bullshit, man.
Yeah, but that's where you and me disagree because you're right, but at the same time, I get the vibes, and if I wish we had the video to show you guys when the other wrestler is pumping him up, telling him about receipts and all that stuff, and you see Raja just going ahead and nodding. He's like, okay, I got you. Like, there's no signs of him going ahead and saying, yo, I'm gonna F this guy up. Nothing compared to what he was saying on his Kick Live.
When he's saying, okay, I got you, do you think he understands what a receipt is?
But Sean, I've never been a wrestler. I know what a receipt is. He's in. Unless he's living beyond. Unless he's living on
from something that happens in the ring. If I stiff you with the forearm, then you give me a receipt back.
Yeah, but
a receipt isn't a calculated attempt at murder.
Correct, but that's why I say Raja is there to blame 100% because he took it to that extreme. But that's not the signs he was showing to Knox Pro and to the other wrestlers that were around him. I mean, that's why I don't want to knock. If there's one thing I will knock the other wrestlers, not Knox Pro so much, but the wrestlers, is the fact that once you started seeing him lay punches that were connecting, nobody went in there immediately and tried to jump and try to stop him. That I blame the wrestler. I'll be like, yo, you should have reacted. Like the example that you use about Stone Cold and Triple H back then. That, yeah, Triple H immediately let that shit go and immediately started attacking the fan that was attacking Stone Cold. You ain't going to touch my boy because at the end of the day, this is our wrestling company. This is our wrestling. We're brotherhood and all that stuff in the end. And screw you. You're not part of the show. That I could criticize them. That I will go 100% with you. But before the actual whole incident, I don't see anything that should give me any signs. And it's obvious that those guys did not have any sign or got any feel that this guy was going to take it to that level. And on top of that, he's not living underneath a rock. He must watch wrestling. Even if he wasn't involved in the show, you know what wrestling is. You know that wrestling is calculated moves. It's not something to that extreme. So I don't know what happened that guy's head clicked.
Look at what happened. Look at what Rampage said afterwards. I mean, there's a lot coming out. The guy's had issues. And again, I get it. Knox Pro might not know that, but there was a red flag there to be like, okay, we need to protect our guys. This isn't going to work. And again, it's somebody. Look, if Raja had been on 20 cards and never had an incident, I could be like, okay. But you don't know. That's the problem.
What has he had?
Take the precaution to be like.
Has Raja Jackson have issues outside before this situation? Is that because that's what you said?
I look up Raja Jackson right now, and this is what it says. SB Nation. This is again headlines. I'm just reading this, okay, from headlines. SB Nation. Quentin Rampage Jackson reveals his son Raja hasn't been the same since his mom was murdered.
I remember that.
And then, again, he went on there and said he's not condoning what his son did. And things like he said his son has been, he said his son had a concussion from 2 days before at the gym, and he probably shouldn't have been doing any of this. Again, where I fault Knox Pro is you put your guy in a terror. And again, I get it. Where maybe he wanted to do it because of, it being with Raja Jackson or whatever. But as I talk about with the Dolphins, sometimes, and as we talk about with football players, sometimes you got to protect the players from themselves. And it just, I get it. I get what you're saying and all that, but no, man, you are responsible for anything that happens as a company. Anything that happens inside that building is your responsibility. You pay insurance. You pay everything else to get a building. And for them to not take the steps, I feel that could have been avoided in a way, man, just because you wanted. And again, it's one of those things to where I keep looking back at it because apparently Knox Pro sent out a tweet or a text to like a lot of their wrestlers to not talk to the police and this and that. Because one of the things that you're always taught in wrestling, and again, it's an old school mentality of it all is, has anybody talked about Knox Pro Wrestling up till this incident?
No, not at all.
And now it's on everywhere. National media, everywhere.
I looked something up right now. And it says here that Rampage Jackson appears to tease Raja in a viral clip, jokes about wrestling and tights. In the minute-long video, Rampage can be heard talking to his son about professional wrestling. At one point, he jokes. He tells him, "Did you get jumped by a bunch of dudes in tights? You was hugging a dude in some damn tights. I saw you hugging on your coach." And then it says the exchange, while delivered in Rampage trademark blunt style, didn't sit well with Raja. His sharp reply came almost instantaneously. "Man, shut the F up. I wasn't effing hugging on nobody. I'm at a pro wrestling show." That comment right there, Sean, is telling me that he knows the difference between going ahead and making moves, doing what he has to do to entertain, than what he actually did to that poor guy and actually beat him up.
No, I mean,
that is telling me right there that he knows the difference. And
Raja
that's
Jackson
why
should be charged. He should be charged no matter 100%. But what I'm saying is there's more guilt to go around.
But that's where I go and say that he knew what he was doing. And I'm not going to blame Knox Pro and I'm not going to blame the other wrestlers before the incident because he knows what wrestling is all about. So when you come and you give me that example of like, hey, you got to give him receipts.
Yeah, but
he knows what it is. He knows what receipt is because he mentioned it to his father saying, "I'm at a pro wrestling show." So that means that he's not.
No, but
he's
see,
not living underneath a rock.
A lot of the people that, but that's where a lot of the fans and quote unquote marks think they know wrestling lingo because they hear it online or everything else, but they don't understand what a receipt is. A receipt is I kicked you in the mouth, so you're going to end up taking a receipt during the match and kick me back in the mouth or whatever it is. That's a receipt. A receipt is not knock you out and punch you 22 times.
It says here, in the same stream just before entering the ring, he addresses fans egging him on. How many subs to knock him out? That's a good question. You're about to see how fake of a crash out I am.
There you go.
Again, I don't justify the kid for doing
But
what
also,
he did.
here's the other thing. If Knox Pro was trying to get the thing because he knew he was streaming on Kick, you have somebody watching the Kick stream.
Well, actually, you know what? I think it was not No Doubt, or somebody was mentioned that said somebody in the chat said that. I don't know. I don't know if it was No Doubt or Karoon. One of you guys was saying that. Oh, there it is. No Doubt said, was nobody at Knox Pro watching the stream to know what was coming?
Yeah. No. And again, that's where this whole thing, once he got mad at the first thing that happened, done. We appreciate it. We're going to give you this much money. Here's your payday. Thank you. We're going to wipe our hands clean. That's it.
I don't know, Sean. I don't know. I mean, keep in mind, you have a guy's name. The wrestling organization is trying to make a name for themselves. The guys had a talk. It looks like everybody squashed it. It was gonna be good show. People were gonna go. It was being promoted. It was on Kick
from themselves.
Yes, but I don't know, man. I don't want to put the blame on Knox Pro, and I don't want to put the blame on the wrestlers. I think he tricked them. I think he sold them that everything was okay, and then behind the scenes he said, "F you, I'm gonna kick this guy's ass."
That's on the promoter. It's on the promoter. You think Vince McMahon gets tricked? You think any of these guys get? Vince McMahon had the Ultimate Warrior wrestle a match, got back to the back, and then fired him.
Yeah. I mean, I can't compare. I can't
have your company's name up there, but this is not. I would not want my company associated with this. An attempted murder.
I agree.
But again, that's what I'm saying. They needed to stop it then. The first issue of there's already a problem. Like I get that, and then.
All right. Well, let me ask you this.
And negligence. If you don't have somebody watching the stream, just to be like, hey, let me know what's being said, so that again, if you unless he said, look, I'm gonna go on my stream and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna F him up and this and that. But if he starts going off on something else to where I'm like, no, this is done. This is done.
Yeah, but Sean, it's an indie show.
I get word in there. What?
It's an indie show.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that your guy gets freaking murdered in the ring almost.
These guys are not gonna go out on a limb to watch what is going on. They're more not even. How many times I don't have to be a promoter out there, but are you telling me the owner of the indie show of that company of Knox Pro is tuning into his Kick instead of focusing on the programming of his wrestling show that he's selling to the audience?
That's part of why you have Raja there. If you know he's streaming, and by the way, the beatdown was on his stream live.
Yeah, but you don't have.
So you knew that was going to be happening because you okayed that.
Yeah, but you don't go with the mindset. Oh, let me tune into his live stream because you weren't expecting that. That's why you should
go with the mindset, though. If you're the promoter and you got your money on the show and you got your money on this event and you got your money against this and that, how are you not protecting your own ass?
Because
that's bad business. That's bad business, man.
I could understand.
If I'm a pro wrestler, I don't go work for Knox Pro. Why? Are you going to take care of me? Hell no. I just watch one of your guys get beat down, and then you send out a text to your wrestler saying, hey, don't talk to the cops.
When it comes to don't talk to the cops.
But no, nothing. That's straight bullshit, man.
When I can get you when you look, I get you 100% when don't talk to the cops. That's fucked up. I'm not gonna lie. But when you go and you're telling me, hey, are you watching the stream and all that stuff? No. Okay, I'm at the show. I'm at the show watching this guy. We're recording because I'm pretty sure they probably record their shows to probably play them back for, just areas that they need to improve. Maybe they show it on YouTube. And I'm going based on, like, for example, the indie show that we like to tune in on CCW, that they record all their shows and all that stuff. But you don't have a full cast. You don't have 5-6 guys running this show. You're the owner. You have to be controlling what's going on with the fight. You got to control it.
Out of your mind,
No,
bro.
no. You want to know why? Because I will tell you this. There is also individuals that are not only the owners or not only the thing, but they also are part of the show. So we don't know what is going on. If I'm an owner, I'll give you an example.
You've got people though to watch that shit for you.
No, why would you?
I was on a show, an indie show, and there was probably 7 or 8 people backstage working stuff, making sure you were in spots that you needed to be in and everything else. 7 or 8 people.
Correct. For your show, your wrestling show. You don't gonna have one or one out of those 8 people watching a kick stream. I'm sorry, you're not.
I am if it's part of my damn show. I want to know what the hell's going on, what his mentality is.
I don't know, dude.
If you're saying, yes, go on your kick stream and do whatever, talk to your crowd, I would double back to make sure. I want to see what his thought process is.
And who's to say, even if, like, we don't, I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. I can't agree with you that. I can't agree with you that. Because at the end of the day, we could be having this stream right here. I could mute myself, and then I could turn off my camera for like 2 seconds, and then be talking shit behind your back on another video, and you won't even know about it.
Yeah, but I know you went silent for 2 minutes, right? For a couple minutes, right?
Yeah, but that's only because
I know something's up.
But that's because it's you and me on this show. But when you're doing a whole program, a whole wrestling show, why in the world, as a person, you see him, he's there, he's sitting on the audience. Why in the world am I gonna be watching his kick? I don't.
You know what I do? I go up to a guy and I say, "Hey, what are you doing right now? Nothing. I'm gonna give you $20. Go on Kick, watch that stream. Let me know if anything goes off that's unusual." I'm right here behind this curtain.
I agree.
If something happens, just flip it and go, "Hey, this is what he's saying. This is what he's doing."
I agree, but tell me a time when you've seen a guy be live streaming stuff and then cause an assault like this. It's not common, Sean. It's not common. So that's why you don't go into with the mindset.
But that's what happens when you have a guy that you don't know nothing about, though. When you don't know about somebody, you take the precautions you need to take.
Sean, you're right. But again, you keep not your point of view is different from mine. My point of view here is he fooled them. He was basically giving them a different view.
I totally understand what you're saying there. But at the same time, if he fooled them and there was already an issue before anything happened, I'm cutting losses.
Sean, how many times? And again,
this isn't going to work. Yeah, I'll figure out something else. I'm sorry.
It's very easy for us to say that because we're not running that wrestling show. You don't know how many people. I don't know if they've. I might be talking out of my ass. We don't know how many people they were selling this storyline already for those fans who were watching that show.
I will say not many because the kid in the thing was like, that guy really punched him for real that just jumped in the ring. Nobody knew who he was.
But that was a kid. So I get it. But I'm saying, like, they probably may have tried to sell this to the audience. They might have gone ahead and tweeted stuff. That way viewership can keep going and people can look at it. We don't know because I don't follow this wrestling.
Frankie, I get what you're saying. But okay, so if I own...
I like Universal.
Yeah, I know. He loves you. He's the guy with the glasses. And yelled it. I agree with the guy in the glasses. Yes!
Frankie Fresco. Yes, you're damn right, Universal. I love you, Universal. That's my
Universal. Thank you for joining the show, man.
Appreciate it,
but hey, here's the thing, Frankie. If I own a trucking company, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right? And I've got a trucker that falls asleep every 4 hours on the dot. Do I send him on the 6-hour trip knowing he's going to fall asleep? or do I take precautions?
How did you find out that he falls asleep every 4 hours?
He's already had 3 accidents.
Okay, perfect. Then there's no but it had to be 3 accidents before he actually found out that he would fall asleep. How many accidents did Raja show to this wrestling company?
As soon as he got hit in the head, he complained. That's enough for me.
That's what you say right now, just to try to prove your point. But when you're talking and you're apologizing and you have it on camera and the other wrestlers are going ahead and listening to this shit and they're saying and say, "Yo, everything's cool. Who are you gonna back up? You're gonna be like, "Nah, man, I'm gonna take him off. I just don't feel like he's authentic with me." No, he was selling us like he was okay with it, that he had bought it.
Great,
and maybe
he worked the boys, but as the promoter, I've got to put on my big boy pants or big girl pants and make a decision that's better for my company.
Yo, shout out to
why didn't you fire him? Good job, Universal. You're right.
2 days left until end of
the end of the Peacock era. Yep. Good riddance.
I mean,
No,
I like like I said, man, I think because we're not in their shoes, it's easy for us to go ahead and say those things. If I'm a wrestling promoter, if I'm the owner of that at Knox Pro Wrestling, right? And I see that.
Let me ask you this then, Frankie. Let me just do this. Listen, I do fall asleep every 4 hours too. I'm about to go take a nap as soon as this ends. But Frankie, all right. So here we go. Let me ask you this.
I knew this was going to go long.
I lost a little bit of my train of thought here.
I knew we were going to long with this topic. I knew it.
Damn it. What'd you just say?
No, I'm not going to tell you because I wanted this topic. Universal agrees with me. Karun agrees with me. Nah, I'm just playing, you guys. But I don't know. What were you going to say? Maybe.
I forgot what you said something in it and maybe hit a light bulb.
All right. Well, while you think about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just cut me off once you remember.
Yeah, I will. You know I will. Come on.
Again, you just finished saying that the first incident automatically went ahead and made you a light bulb say, "Yo, we can't work with this guy." How many instances at your job, right, where you fuck up and where you go ahead and you're like, "Oh shit," and you apologize and you're like, "Look, my bad, man. I didn't do it on purpose. My fault." And you believe the person, right? And then you find out again by trial and error that they do it again. Hey, shame on you the first time, shame on me a second time, because now I believed your bullshit and you were selling me on that shit. So screw you. Now I'm not even gonna believe anything that comes out of your mouth. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Here's my problem with that. My job, if I screw up, I might not kill somebody. And again, as a wrestler with anybody, you're trusting them with your body, with your health, with your livelihood. That's not something that just like, oh, you know what? Let's take a chance. Okay, let's take a chance. And what happened? And I get it. That's hindsight.
Why do you feel that way?
But at the same time, like, because I've seen people get dropped on their heads. I've been hit with a fucking lobster pot and I couldn't go to work for 3 days because my face was out to here.
Yes, but when you go ahead, haven't you ever run into a situation when you're talking? It could be anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be wrestling. But you go into
Frankie, the difference is with wrestling, it's a livelihood. If he would have stand up higher than just on his shoulders, he could have broke his neck. Like, there's more to it. He gave him his body.
But Sean,
he gave him his body. That's where it's different in wrestling. It's not a mistake.
It's Frankie, not different in wrestling.
Him knocking him out by a slam and hitting him 22 times in the face is not a mistake.
I agree with you on that. But what I'm trying to tell you is you keep trying to sell to me that you're blaming Knox Pro and you're blaming the wrestlers.
I said they have some blame. I'm not blaming them like,
no, they have blame. I get it.
The fact that it happened, they have blame.
I don't put any blame on them. I'm sorry.
Oh, bullshit, man. It's their wrestling ring. It's their show.
Yes, it's their show. But
and he already had an issue in the back.
When you're sucker,
he already had an issue in the back,
bro. He played them. He basically sold them something.
If you got played, you're supposed to be the pro wrestler that's playing everybody else. If you got played, there's issues. Your job as a pro wrestler is to play people. That's your job. And you got played? Come on.
Money talks, man. You don't know what. You got to think about
Universal told me to get real. Universal told me to get real. I'm guessing it's me because he loves the guy in the glasses.
I like Universal. He's good, bro. He reminds me of
Well,
Universal Studios
well,
too.
no doubt. To be honest, I thought it was a popcorn tin, and I thought I was going to get this great sound because it was a Christmas tree match. So everything's wrapped in wrap. So he picked it up to throw it at me. I'm like, yes, throw it. Bam, boom, and my head went bloop. Luckily, I was wearing a mask at the time.
And if it's true what Universal said, UFC is interested, I'll be shocked, bro. Because I don't know about all that. If I'm the UFC, I would not be interested whatsoever on that Raja kid. Hell no, that's an issue ready to happen. It says Raja is not a wrestler, was not trained as a wrestler, never been in
That's
wrestling school.
exactly what
Yes,
at the very
I,
beginning.
I
said
understand that.
You
I
put
understand.
a guy that is not in the wrestling world and expected him to be a wrestler.
I understand. No, but you guys, Sean, I understand that, and I'm not justifying the kid, but I'm also
Universal, you're my favorite guy. Thank you.
I agree with the fact that he has never been in the wrestling.
That's where the blame on Knox Pro is. They put the guy in the ring.
Yeah, but they put the guy in the ring because they wanted viewers. They wanted people.
Well, then you bring him to your school, which Knox Pro has a school, and you work with them and you train them on what you're going to do. You ain't got to train him to be a pro wrestler, but you have to train him enough to where he understands what the expectations are.
I could understand that. That I agree with you. I think that's something right. That is true. Yes, they should have done that. And like you said, if they didn't want to go through all those things, then they shouldn't gone to the extreme of having him slam or let Psycho Stu go ahead and allow him to get picked up and slam like that and all that stuff. There is a blame there. I agree with you in that aspect that they should have brought him earlier, showed him the ropes, trained him, and be, hey, this is the difference between real life and this is the difference between storytelling and then creating a narrative for the fans in wrestling. But that doesn't go ahead. That maybe that's the only part now that I would admit that that Knox Pro had issues. But when it comes to the other wrestlers, when it comes to during being there at the main event, being there at the show, I'm sorry, man. Raja Jackson sold them. He acted cool about it. He thought that everything was okay. Everybody seemed like it was okay. I'm pretty sure if any of the other wrestlers, especially with their experience, would have noticed that this guy had like a temper issue or would have noticed something wrong with him, they would have said something to somebody and said, hey man, don't let this kid get in the ring. It's bad. They all agree to it. So if you're telling me that you want to blame the wrestlers and Knox Pro, then you're basically telling me that none of those wrestlers that were there at that show and that dealt with that kid know the difference between wrestling and real life, because obviously you could tell when somebody is flipped in the head and is about to do some harm to somebody. Either they didn't care that he was going to do it, or number two, they just don't know about it. They just don't realize it. Because I'm shocked. You as a wrestler, Sean, I go to you and you and we had this. Let's say I'm Raja and I'm flipping out, and then we apologize. You don't know me. I don't know you. We're just getting to know each other. And I said, yo, you said to me, hey, man, I'm sorry and everything. And I shake your hand. I'm like, yo, Sean, you know what, man? I appreciate it, bro. Yeah, that's fine. Everything's okay. Your first instinct as a human being and in a wrestling show and all that stuff is, hey, okay, I think we squashed everything. The kid looks like he's fine. There's nothing wrong with him. He's not showing me anything mean. He's not showing anything that is going to like fuck me up even more. There was no signs after they shook hands that kid was going to react that way. That's why I don't blame the wrestlers and Knox Pro to a lot of extent. I agree with you. They should have at least brought them and probably trained them and done like a quick rundown of what they wanted to do. That they should have done. You're right about that. But since they didn't do that, and the moment that they're in this situation, this predicament, they kind of got to go with the show. I can't blame them. I'm sorry. I just can't. Like, should the kid have been in the ring in the first place? No. But once they were there, they weren't expecting this. And this is not something that happens on a daily basis in their wrestling.
Most people avoid it. That's why. Most wrestling companies will avoid that part of it. They don't want to see one of their guys end up in a hospital.
Of course not. And they got lucky that the guys didn't die, because he was in the hospital.
He didn't get slammed too much higher on his neck too. I mean, it wasn't like he. Again, man, it's one of those things. When you're wrestling, you're giving your body to them. All right, we've done this enough. It's time to go talk. Or
yeah, we went at it for a while.
Clash in Paris talked here. All right, time. This will end the show. Clash in Paris, our picks. We will start with, Jericho donated money. Mr. Beast donated money. There's a lot of wrestlers that kicked in money on that. Even one of the basketball players did too. Forgot who it was though. Can't remember who it was.
Really?
Yeah. Yep, there's a basketball player. No doubt I eat lobster now and it gets cracked and everything in there. I heard they're going to add another match. I don't know. Did they add the other match Universal yet?
I heard it's Randy and Drew McIntyre,
Randy
right?
and Drew McIntyre, right? A return match from the whatever.
That's what I heard.
That's what I heard, but I just didn't see it on this one. It's not here yet. It's 6 now. So we'll do that one. Randy and Drew.
You want to start with that one?
Yeah, let's start with that one because I think that's one's going to got added.
Okay.
It's not on my list here, so I want to do it now before I forget about it.
Yeah, I didn't have it on the list when I looked it up either.
Yeah.
I like Drew McIntyre on this. I think Drew McIntyre needs the victory more than Randy, and as it typically happens, Randy got the last laugh. He's given him a couple of RKO's already, a couple times. It only makes sense for Drew McIntyre to finally get the upper edge, and I think this is a good way to push Drew McIntyre to be Cody Rhodes' next opponent. So I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre. I think Drew McIntyre wins this.
I agree with you 100%. I think this is the match that elevates Drew up to Cody, and so they can have that match there. Nikki Bella challenges Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. What says you, Frankie Fresco?
Look, this is probably one of the most exciting matches that I want to see because I'm a huge Becky Lynch fan, and I think Nikki Bella is so freaking hot. So I'm going to be tuned in 100% on this match. I like Nikki Bella, but I just don't think Becky Lynch is going to drop that belt. So I'm going to go with Becky on this one.
You know what's interesting is I feel like Nikki Bella's going to end up winning the belt. I just don't think it's at the Clash in Paris. I think they end up doing something in this one where it's a cheap win by Becky to bring it back. And then run.
Yeah, I did hear about that Universal.
Yeah.
What did she specifically say? Because they were like hating.
It was in Birmingham, and she's like, "Now I know why Ozzy died, or he died because he didn't want to live in Birmingham anymore, or something like that."
Yeah.
That's just along the lines of the thing. And then Kelly Osbourne jumped on, and again, Ozzy is in the WWE Hall of Fame. He is. He's done a lot of stuff.
You know what? By you saying that, I mean, there's a very good chance just because she's getting a lot of heat right now, they might not keep her.
They may take the belt off of her, but I think ultimately Nikki will win the belt. I just didn't expect. I don't expect it to be Clash in Paris, but with all this going on now, maybe. But I'll go with Becky right now. But I think Nikki will end up getting the belt. The good old fashioned Donnybrook match: Sheamus versus Rusev.
How about you go with that one first?
All right, man. I think Sheamus wins it, man.
Damn.
You don't get a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match, and Sheamus doesn't get the payoff. So I'm gonna go Sheamus in this one.
Funny enough, you say that. I was leaning to Sheamus. I think Rusev is good, but I don't know. I think this feud is gonna continue even after this match, and I think you give it to Sheamus, and then you kind of run it back. So I agree with you. I got Sheamus as well.
The tribal thief takes on the tribal chief. The Shuafala on the line. Roman Reigns, Bronson Reed. Are we talking about this one, or what are we doing here?
I mean, logic sense is that Roman Reigns wins this all day. But I'm also thinking, how is Seth Rollins or if Braun Breaker, any of these guys going to get involved? And I feel like maybe Braun Breaker is going to get involved some way, somehow. And they've been spearing each other here and there. So I'm going to go on a limb, and I'm going to say Bronson Reed takes the dub. I think Roman Reigns could take the L, and Bronson Reed needs to win. So I'm going to say they get involved, everything happens, and he gets a cheap win because of either Seth or either Braun Breaker gets involved in this match.
Man, we're kind of along the same. Like, I honestly think Roman wins this match because the whole Shua Fala thing and all this, but I think there's going to be a lot of shenanigans going on because I think the shenanigans backfire on the Vision in this one, and Roman Reigns takes the win. And then going to the next match, the heavyweight championship match, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight, I think the shenanigans work for Seth Rollins, and he ends up walking out the champion.
I agree to this. I don't know if the shenanigans are going to keep going in that CM Punk, Jey Uso, LA Knight match, but I do feel that it's hard for us to see Seth Rollins lose the belt, especially since he just won it. And, of course, they're banking on him all this time. So I do agree. I have Seth Rollins as well winning that match.
Yeah, and Universal does say, because I know Roman's going to go film some stuff, I believe. So he might get beat down after that one. He might win and then get beat down after. So that's a big thing there. The GOAT, never seen 17. John Cena. I can't believe he's fighting Logan Paul. And they put John Cena and Logan Paul set for generational battle.
Look, I like what Universal's saying. Brock comes out. And I feel that Brock will come out. Yeah. But I feel that Brock is going to come out after John Cena wins.
Yes.
So I'm going to say John Cena wins, but then Brock comes out and attacks him again.
Yeah, I can't see them. Man, they just turned them. Like I'm kind of thinking along the lines of, does Brock Lesnar come out and like let Logan Paul win this one somehow? Like he's F5s, Logan Paul goes up for the splash, ends up pinning Cena on his way out. Like that's a way to build up that, Lesnar Cena, but I also can't see them letting Cena take the L. I really can't, man. Not the Logan Paul. Like oof. No doubt. Is Brock allowed in Europe? I don't know. I'm guessing yes.
And not only that, but there might be if Drew McIntyre wins against Randy Orton, there's a good way that maybe Drew McIntyre could get involved and help Logan because they've been together, especially the talking here and there. The last thing that Drew McIntyre told Logan Paul, I believe it was on Friday, was like, "Hey, make a statement." And then obviously he did the punch, his signature punch to John Cena. But for me, it's just hard for me to see John Cena lose. Like he just turned back to being a baby, and he just lost to Cody. I think he's gonna win.
Yeah. All right. So there's our picks, and then we saw everybody else's, and pretty much along the lines of ours. Everybody went wrong. Universal, no doubt, and some of those there. So appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. we will be here talking wrestling, AEW, WWE. It probably won't be as long as it is today. We kind of got into it on the Roger Jackson going back and forth and round on the who to blame, what to blame, who to blame, how to blame issues there. But Frankie, let them know where they can see you and find you, man.
Yeah, you guys can follow me at Frankie Fresco or Fresco Music, one of the two. You're going to be, if you guys want to tune in on Wednesdays, 8 p.m., IGR Miami is my show, the Cameo Mix Show. It's always there being played. And then obviously you can catch me if you're here down in South Florida. I usually DJ at different locations. Just follow me on all my social media platforms. I usually tell you guys where I'm at, and you guys are more than welcome to come visit me and say what's up to me while I'm DJing. Shout out to Josh. He came out one day when I was DJing at one of these spots. So I really appreciate everybody, and thank you once again for Sean for bringing me back and being part of the show. It's been a minute. I know we're very busy, and I know we got a lot of work going on, but I always do appreciate being part of the show, and thank you once again for having me on the show. I appreciate it, man.
Well, at least one of us is happy you're back. But I'm just kidding. Frankie, of course, always, man. Always. The show wouldn't be the same without you, my friend. You can check me out at Stanley Media House on all social media platforms except for X. I'm at Stanley Media _11 there. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Stanley Media House. Also, the Frankie Fresco YouTube channel. We will talk wrestling on Wednesdays. We talk NASCAR on Mondays. And starting on Sunday, I'll do some post-game. Kane's winning, baby. Taking down the Irish this week.
Oh, hold on a second.
Top 10.
If I could jump on that as a special guest, let me know. Because if Notre Dame is winning, you know that.
Yeah. Like I said, the Canes will win.
Should I live stream that? I might even live stream.
Oh, you're gonna live stream it again? Every time you live stream, it hasn't been good for you, my friend. And Universal, thank you, my friend. Appreciate having you on.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for jumping in there. Please hit the subscribe notifications. Hopefully, you'll be here every Wednesday. And then also, I'm going to start going live and recap all of the wrestling shows. That starts next week. Oh God! Although next week, actually, I'm sorry. The Raw on Netflix will be after probably the NASCAR because I think it ends about the same time. So I'm not sure I can go on live with 2 live streams at the same time. And yes, I do have a Fuck the Luck shirt from Caneswear as well. They made one for my big ass. 3XL, baby. I got it.
Just don't wear it because
I think he's asking Frankie because Frankie always buys the other team shirts and then wears them to lose.
It's a different year, guys. It's a different year. And Miami's not going to win, dude. Like, you guys think that Miami is going to win.
Raw's on at 2 p.m. next week.
Yeah, Raw is on early next week. Yeah.
It's 7 o'clock their time, 2 o'clock ours.
Yeah, 7 o'clock their time, 2 o'clock
Yeah,
ours.
yeah. I don't know if it's necessary, but they are talking about moving the time around on, I think, starting at 6. They want to start earlier, some of the shows, I think, because of the football. They want to be done before football starts. There's talk. There's a couple of shows coming up in the Carolinas where they're asking people to be there at 5:30. Wow. Which usually means they go live at 6. They're usually 30 minutes after the time they ask. So they will be going earlier, but right now they're going earlier because they're overseas, which they always do those shows when they're over there. And that's why the pay-per-view is an early start as well. So appreciate every one of you. Universal, appreciate you, no doubt. Appreciate you guys being on. As always, my dad, appreciate you. Cap for life, appreciate you as well. Karoon was in the house. Cody Burris, 456. Thank you, sir. Who else we got in here?
Adrian was there.
Adrian was in there. Finn's was in there. Finn Sammy, I saw him for a couple there. Appreciate him for being in. Oh, Towering Conk Zoo. Appreciate you as always. The great Josh was in earlier. EA Minutes was in as well. He never got to me on my DMs, but we need to get him back in and get him on the stream one time. And until next Wednesday, the Squared Circle Digest will return for the great Frankie Fresco. I'm Sean Stanley. In the words of the great Gordon Soley, so long from the sun, shine, state.